Hello and welcome. You're watching World View. I'm Gaurie Dwivedi. Today I talk about American politics and how much does Donald Trump's re-election chances get impacted with him contracting the virus. Firstly, as leader of the free world, as President of the United States, Donald Trump contracting a virus that has killed 2 lakh of his countrymen does send shivers down a lot of American people and experts around the world. The reason why stock markets in America fell and gold prices around the world also reacted sharply to that. Now, Donald Trump is being administered a drug which many people believe is experimental in nature and that could give some idea of his health condition not being good. Now, this is what the virus has done. When it gets infected, when it infects a person, the person or the patient reacts so sharply, and there's such a sharp deterioration in his health that that rapid de-escalation of health is something that many experts are not able to arrest in time, and which is why, of course, it has led to such a sharp death toll, including in America. And the fact that Donald Trump is being administered these experimental drugs, many believe, is probably an indication that all is not well. I don't know, but I'm just going by what a lot of medical experts believe. Now, the second thing I want to address is his re-election chances. Last 30 days, trailing 7% against Biden. He needs to raise money. He needs to convince Republican supporters. And he also needs to reach out to the fence-sitters and talk about things other than coronavirus. Now, as for talking about things other than coronavirus, whether it's the recovery of the American economy, whether it is about the Supreme Court judge now being appointed, Amy Barrett, that is obviously going to be overshadowed by COVID-19 because he himself has contracted. So the messaging to American voters from President Trump about things other than COVID-19 is unlikely to happen. That's point number one. Point number two is about donors. He raised less money than Joe Biden. Joe Biden raised about $145 million more than him. So he needs to hold more of those campaign lunches and fundraisers, which obviously cannot happen if you're in quarantine. So how much does that impact the campaign remains to be seen. But as of now, Democrats are really flooding the airwaves, so to say. So he cannot splurge on airwaves because he cannot have those many fundraisers because he's in quarantine. The third and equally important thing is about his supporters. Now, unlike Joe Biden, who has a insipid style of communication, he's known as Sleepy Joe for a reason. And Donald Trump has a more personalized style of communication, and that obviously comes to fore when he's in person, right? Doing it in quarantine through videos doesn't serve that purpose, which means that he could be at a huge disadvantage, also because of his style of communication by being in quarantine and staying away from his voters for long. Lastly, I want to talk about whether or not he's going to be fit enough to debate Joe Biden for the second time in Miami on the 15th of October. If he does, obviously he's recovered by then. I hope he does. If he doesn't, then the American Constitution is quite clear about transition of power. Amendment 25 says that the vice president takes over if the president is incapacitated. Probably the only time that the VP is relevant in American politics. If Mike Pence takes over, then obviously it's the end of Donald Trump's re-election chances, but it also will add in a lot more anxiety and fear for America and for the world, because remember, this will be an election that will also happen through the ballot and could lead itself to a lot more inconsistencies, which is the president being incapacitated. So that's my 2 bits on America. I'm going to keep coming back to you with some tidbits and important bits of information about the American election that the world is watching right now. Thanks so much for tuning in to this edition of World.